Well, team, we did it. Today is August 8th, 2019, the day after a massive announcement for this little small business of ours. We've been flying all over the country, shaking a lot of hands, talking into a lot of microphones, in an attempt to hopefully find a proper direction for the next steps for this small business. And it all got pieced together within the last month or so by the fine folks at CA. I gotta give Michael Klein and David Coonan a lot of respect.
Hey, let's give it up for them.
Hey, Michael Klein, as you know, Jewish correspondent for this podcast.
Correct. Yep.
He came on and broke down the entire religion basically a couple of weeks ago. It was incredible. But we are also thankful and grateful. I speak for myself. The guys will chime in here in a second, but I'm so thankful for everybody that listens and follows. We're about to really fucking go and have a great fall here. A lot of opportunity. So thankful for Westwood One and DAZN, ESPN and WWE for the faith in them. Nothing will change. All we're doing is adding potential opportunities for more magic. The live radio show will not affect the podcast. The live radio show will be on 40 stations across this beautiful country of ours. Were the pins that were on the map in our announcement in the proper locations of where the stations actually are? Nowhere near. Most of them were potentially in a different state. That is because our geographic correspondent Zito put that map together, and although he potentially got all the words and cities spelled right because he copy and pasted from Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
He guesstimated on where cities were, and we didn't catch it until literally this morning because we had to whip that video together within a few hours because the release date of all this news was going to be Monday, this upcoming Monday, and then the Hollywood Reporter wanted to break the news.
Whoa.
Hey, excuse me.
Heard of them.
Hollywood Reporter.
Wow.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack from Titanic, was on the cover of the book.
Heard of him?
Last week.
You was there?
It's a book.
Yeah, book, magazine, periodical, you name it.
It's hard copy though.
Oh, that one's the hardcover?
No, I don't know. Is it? I have no idea what it is.
You can get it in magazine form, but I'm sure there's a hardcover.
Paperback
as well.
most of the time.
Anyways, that thing, the Hollywood Reporter broke the news. Very nice lady who wrote that article. I got a chance to talk to her. They moved it up to Wednesday. So Foxy in the engine room and myself, we had to piece together the video for the release in a matter of hours. Because we were negotiating all the way up until basically this whole thing got released.
Right.
Negotiations were really happening. And it killed me to not be able to talk about it for the last couple of months. My phone would be blowing up with counters and this, and could you do this, if this, for these people. And I wasn't allowed to speak about any of it.
Mummed. It's not what
Gagged.
It's really not what I was going for.
Whoa.
Mom and gag.
The
A gag order. Yeah, a gag order.
Yeah.
Mum was the word.
The attorneys were like, can't speak of this.
You speak of this, potentially ruin everything, and also we lose all leverage if you speak about it.
Yes.
Is what they said. So I had to keep my mouth shut for the good of the team here.
Appreciate it.
Good of the team here. I had to do
Great
it.
work.
But I'll tell you what, it was very difficult whenever I had to speak into a microphone for hours at a time, not to just be like, oh, you should have heard this. Like, boys, we got some crazy shit happening. It would have been nice to be able to do that. But now that we're there, this upcoming fall is going to be incredible for us. We're very thankful, and we can't wait for you to enjoy the ride alongside of us because without you, there's literally no chance any of this happens. And I very much understand that. We very much understand that. And we're pumped up. And I think I speak for everybody when I say that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. It's, if you look back 2 years, if you'd have told me this was going on right now, I'd be like, that's probably right because Pat's pretty awesome. No, it's just incredible how fast it has happened. That's the whole thing. No doubt, eventually you were destined for this, but to happen this fast,
I think it's a big we thing though, because you got to remember, Heartland Radio is getting a new studio as well.
Sure.
Us 10 people here in this building, 12 people in this building. We got a lot of people from different cities flying in to hopefully invest in us and help us do our thing, and it's 100% because the people that follow and listen to us.
Well, it's kind of like when LeBron took his first Cavs team to the finals. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Every now and then you get the ball, do something with it.
I said it earlier today.
That means a lot.
Been here almost 3 years. Put my faith and trust in you. It's the best decision I've ever made.
Diggs said, because I asked him how his parents felt about it. This is one of the first conversations Diggs and I had after he quit his job that he was doing well at and decided to move to Indianapolis to make content on the internet for Barstool at the time. He said, I told my mom and dad that you don't really fail at anything. So you'll figure this out however we got to do it. And to be honest, my parents were like, yeah, that's probably accurate. So here we are.
Very real thing.
But I would like it to be known that I did feel a sense of pride that our group got a chance to get to a spot now where we're getting a push from companies, like real push. It feels like everybody we're going to work with right now really wants us to succeed. They really want it to work. And I'm pretty excited and thankful for it all. I really am.
Well, and that's what, like, just thinking about it is so cool. Like, everything we've done, we do it in such, like, a makeshift kind of put it together at the last second, and it always turns out okay. And now we actually have, like, all this nice equipment and all these, like, resources behind us. So I can only imagine where it's going to be.
Our last thing we threw together that did well was the video.
Yeah.
Announcing this all happening. And we had a situation in the middle of that with the map. Let's assume that as we move forward, we'll have a little bit more resources to help us make more magic. But nothing's changing. The podcast will still remain lawless. We will have to abide by FCC rules on the radio.
What does that mean?
There's like the 7 words you can't say, that type of thing. There's some rules. So just standard.
Not lie with your neighbor.
That would be the commandments, I think. The 10 commandments are those ones, which those do not play, by the way. So
Right.
if you would like to cheat on your wife or whatever, Zito, you can do that on radio. The FCC does not mind. But you cannot say the word fuck on there.
Nope.
Right.
You cannot allude to somebody being... I think you can say words, but you can't use them in a negative fashion. Like
Who's the
you,
judge on that?
We should probably have a class.
the
before.
FCC is.
We should have a class on it because I know, like, from when we did Bob and Tom a lot, like, you could say the P word if you were calling
Penis?
someone that, like, is don't be a P word, but you couldn't say that girl, you touched that girl's P word. You know what I mean? Like, Same way with dick. You could call somebody
Don't
a dick.
be a dick.
Like, don't be a dick, but you couldn't say,
I'm gonna slap
anyway,
you.
I was looking at my dick. You know, you couldn't say it that way.
Are you? I think you had those backwards.
When he was saying
No,
it,
I think you're allowed to describe it as a physical. Now, this is why we probably need it. But I think you're allowed to do the physical, and you're not allowed to call somebody.
No.
Really?
No, you have to be anatomically correct. Like, you have to say penis if you're referring to a dick.
Oh, you can't have the
You
nickname
can't use the
for it.
slang cuss word form of the word.
Huh.
But you can say don't be a dick. That's why you hear all those.
Can you say pitch a tent?
yes.
Yeah, you can say dumb things from like 6th grade.
I'm all in.
You can
I just
say
passed.
it very easily. You can definitely do that. I think the content of us learning what we can and
Hilarious.
can't
It's gonna be
is also
hilarious.
good. And we assume we're going to run into some hurdles here. We're going to run into some obstacles on the track to this winning championship we're about to run through. The schedule is going to be insane. 5 days a week we're on DAZN and Westwood One. 5 days a week, 10 to noon, 7 to 9, all the other time zones. I assume you have to do math for everything else. We apologize. I don't know what yours is. Central time, I guess we're what?
1 hour behind, so.
You get it.
Yep.
Mountain time,
2 hours behind.
Arizona time,
3 hours behind.
Hawaiian time, because I'm building up quite a little friend base out there.
6 hours behind.
6?
Yeah,
What
it's
about if somebody wants to listen to us over there in Germany where DAZN has the NFL
Like
rights?
7
6 or
hours
7
ahead.
hours ahead.
And Japan,
That's about 8 hours
Tomorrow.
ahead.
16 hours ahead.
I was gonna say Japan is much
Times
more
2.
than
8 times 2.
Japan is in the
Jeez.
future.
Wow.
But
Australia is like 23 or 24.
DAZN is in Japan, so we could potentially have a growing fan base in Japan. By the way, a lot of military in Japan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of military in Germany.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Amen.
It'd be nice to reach those folks.
Domo.
would be.
Domo.
Mirigato?
Nope. Just Domo.
Domo Rogato.
Good song.
That's thank you very much.
Oh. What's song?
Domo is thank you.
Yeah. If you want to lay it on thick.
Thank you very much is Domo Rogato.
Oh, Mr. Roboto is the song.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
the guy that did something good in the song. So
They're thanking him.
yeah, Mr. Roboto is actually not a Japanese word.
No.
It's 2. You,
That changes a lot of things.
does it? You walking over to Japanese people like, Mr. Roboto. I'll take sushi. I'll take one of them sake bombs. Mr. Roboto. You're trying to be so friendly. Don't do that on the show, though.
I can't.
On a radio show. We're trying to grow fans, not lose fans.
I will never do that.
And I think the big thing about us is we're going to be able to stay fresh because Monday, Tuesday, we do the radio show and podcast recording here in Indianapolis, plus a weekend wrap up of the NFL for DAZN strictly out there. Podcast stays the same. We add one. But then we're going to be traveling for the Thursday night football games, and we're going to be doing the show remote on Wednesday and Thursday from where the Thursday night football games are in a box truck that was just purchased that's about to be decked out into a studio.
Hilarious.
Which I can't wait for. Just doing the show out of the back of a box truck. But it's going to be very, I guess, put together.
Yes.
Is what I'm being
It's gonna
told
be quite the mobile studio.
by the powers that be, by the way.
Right.
This is what happens whenever you have a chance to have some real corporations get behind you here. It's like, yeah, we don't want to change you at all, but we would like to help you maybe be a little bit more,
Outfit you with the proper tools.
Yeah.
You know what?
Polished.
No more walking into a gunfight with a Swiss Army knife.
Yes, because I couldn't believe how I was expecting some opposition from the other side of the fence on that mobile studio
Same.
situation, but they were way behind. It was almost like they were admitting, yes, 99% of radio stations are as small as your broom closet.
Yeah.
So yes, we need you. If you make that would be awesome, and we'll help you.
Yeah, pitching it wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. When I was pitching the box truck idea, I expected it to not go well.
Yes.
And as soon as the words got out of my mouth, there was some detractors on the conference call. And then once I started explaining it, the smarter humans on the call started really understanding what was going on. Then you saw the tide kind of turn, and it was almost like, we should be making the box truck studio for everybody. It kind of started coming around. And at the end of it, I was like, yeah. Because I went in there with zero confidence that thing was getting backed out. But that's the type of thing that gets to happen. Like, if we want to go do something with the English Premier League, we are able to go do something with the English Premier League.
Yep.
If we want to go do something with the NFL directly through the DAZN Canada relationship, we can do that. If we want to go to Japanese baseball and potentially make a debut in I don't know if they'll let me play. I mean, granted, we got to do a lot of winning over in Japan for what happened in the past. But there's like the access is to almost everything. And I think this is only going to help us. And we're very, very grateful, man. Very, very, very grateful. And if we didn't get the pin right on the map, like, we apologize. We shouldn't have had Zito do that.
Sorry, Colorado.
I'm so glad you don't do like the tornado warning map.
And Utah.
And
and South Carolina.
and
Buffalo, but I think I got it sort of right.
you didn't.
You were 800 miles wrong.
Well, it didn't say like drawn to scale.
It didn't.
So
He's right. He's right.
if we put drawn to scale, then they could sue us.
You're right.
We didn't put it on there.
You know, we should have put approximate. That would have saved us a headache.
So Zito didn't think that he could make the pins taller or shorter so that they didn't stack up on top of each other, because you could make a pin, basically, you could have 3 pins go to the same spot, just make them in 3 different lengths, and they could all stack on top of each other. Because Zito kept saying, oh, they're getting a little snug.
East Coast got
It's getting a little
stuffy over there.
Anyways,
But Colorado's well by itself.
we got the
so I
point
don't know.
across, and we're very excited to be in your city. And if we're not in your city, go ahead and give a call to the local sports talk station, request us. I guess that's how it goes. I have no idea. And in the DAZN simulcast, they're redoing this entire studio. So we have the box truck studio. We have this studio. They're really making it as easy as possible for us to make some magic. And we're
Just
excited.
wait until you see these studios.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, they sent the renderings, the artist rendering over. First of all, I didn't even know you could do that and make it look real. I was like, somebody take a picture of a studio.
bro, it was like
They made it.
It was like HGTV.
Yes. It
Like on HGTV, whenever they're like, okay, we're gonna take this wall out, and they pop up like a 3D Illustrator animation of what it's supposed to look like. And I assume that was all done in post, and it was something that isn't possible. This dude, in a 24 hours, he was in
Incredible.
here, looked around, kind of asked us all a couple questions to get to know us, and then boom, 3D rendering of the studio the next day. I'm like, what the fuck? How much money was this? It's awesome. It is beautiful.
Yeah, oh my gosh. People are going to lose their minds. I did.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited to be in
Yeah,
here.
really exciting.
Then I fly from directly after the Thursday night football game, directly to New York City for Get Up with Greeny. I think for the first hour, 8 to 9, that's going to be an honor to get on that show on a regular basis. Big shout out to Greeny, pushing for that hard, I guess. Very thankful for him. He wanted me to be on there, and I'm excited and honored to be on there with him. I'm just going to be talking shit, but that's so much different than the live radio show, which is so much different than the podcast, which is so much different than Thursday Night Football, which is so much different than the WWE content we make. That's why this particular deal that was negotiated by a lot of different corporations and the CAA, Coonan and Klein team kind of putting it all together makes so much sense because it's not going to be monotonous. Because if it was going to be monotonous, there's no way I would have done it or survived.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Can't do it.
Won't do it.
Won't win with it. Can't win with it. I can win with this team, though, right here.
Let's go.
Appreciate that.
Hey, we can win with this room.
Just not maps. We're not going to win
Come on.
any cartography jobs.
I won the geography bowl in 8th grade. I have the cup at my house.
Brought shame to them. Sorry.
You did. A lot of people question. I got fucking meteorologists from all these cities we're going to. With their little blue check brigade, they're friends with probably the 10 to 12 time slot radio show hosts. They're always like, "Oh, this guy doesn't even know where our city is." That's what they're saying.
Nice.
That was the initial lead off with the elitists of most cities that we were dropping into. But you know what, Zito? We did it. Fuck them.
Exactly.
I don't give a goddamn if that meteorologist who's coming after Zito because his friend runs the show from 10 to 12 likes us or not. Because no offense to them. No offense to the meteorologists. A lot of offense to the city, probably, that we put it in the wrong spot.
sorry.
We apologize for that.
Sorry.
But hey, if we're our best show we can be, I'll be excited to see what shows can keep up with us.
None.
And that's all we're worried about. I think there's probably some greats out there who offer a very different style of show. But we're just going to try to make it a mental vacation for 2 hours every single day, starting on September 9th, all the way through. And that's the goal. We're just going to have a good time on there. Take some phone calls. Tone's phones. Tony Diggs is going to be running the goddamn phones at Tone Diggs, by the way, with a Z.
Good luck getting through.
Oh, you're a bouncer at a club?
I'm the gatekeeper, my friend. No bad calls.
No bad calls. That is something we learned with our Sirius show.
Yeah.
If you get a string of bad calls, it can really ruin the day.
Oh.
It can
Saboteurs.
I do feel like there was a potential couple shows sending in terrible callers to our show because they knew we allowed a lot of people on the line. Tone, it's his job to kind of run the gate there.
Yeah.
Start tweeting at Tone Diggs if you're planning on being a regular caller. I think you should try to get in his good graces. Or just deliver magic when you're on the air because Diggs will be keeping score at home to see who gets through, I believe.
I do accept bribes.
Oh, you're Italian.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah. What are we talking about?